And good afternoon, everybody. And I see that it's going to be a very intimate session today. So welcome everybody to our paper magic and what you can do with paper. This is what we're going to do today. So what you need is basically you need ruler, you need pen, you need scissors, you need glue, and of course, loads and loads of paper to try out with. Please note that you can use scrap paper, so it's not really a big issue. So scrap paper will just be fine. Right, so I hope that everybody is already in holiday mode. Definitely are. So I'm gonna just do my 3 days and then I'm gonna be on leave. So tomorrow we're going to have our CSI, crime scene investigation seconds, and it's going to be me again with a case of the missing candy. And on Friday we're going to do a drawbot, so you make your own robot that can draw pictures, or not really pictures, but that can draw automatically on a sheet of paper. All right, so let's get started. I'm just going to share my screen again. So first of all, as usual, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to briefly explain in a PowerPoint just the first session, what we're going to do first, and then I'm going to switch over my camera, and then we can basically I'm going to show you how things are going to work. I'll just need to put me as a spotlight. Okay, all right, and let me just share my screen. A second. Right, just again, what you will need is lots of papers, can be scrap paper, scissors, rulers, pencil, glue, or tape. And if I can just continue, here we go. All right, so we're going to start off with just an A4 sheet of paper. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to fold this A4 sheet of paper in half, lengthwise. And then we're going to start cutting it. So basically what we are creating is we are climbing through a hole in a sheet of paper. Okay, and I'm going to show you later on exactly how it's going to be done. So 1 centimeter from the side, so we're going to have an open side and we're going to have a closed side. So we're going to cut about 1 centimeter from the side. We're going to cut a slit. We do not cut through. Okay, we're just going to cut a slit. All right. Then we turn the paper so that the closed side is now on the top and the open side is at the bottom, and we're going to cut another slit. And we're going to flip over again. Again, we're going to cut from the closed side. We're going to cut a slit. And remember to not cut through the whole sheet of paper, just up to about 1 centimeter or a thumb width apart from the end of the paper. And we're going to continue until we reach the end. Just make sure that your last cut is in fact from the closed side. Okay, so the last cut needs to be from the closed side. And then what we're going to do is we are going to cut now the closed side. So we're going to cut it open, but we're going to leave the 2 end bits. We do not cut through the 2 end bits, only those that are inside these end bits. Again, I'm going to show you just now how we're going to do this. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. All right. Okay, so just to get started. So here we have, and I'll just, okay, I'll just need to move forward. Here we go. So this is what you probably can better see. So this is our sheet of paper. Okay. So can you imagine climbing through this white sheet of paper? Okay. So this might be a little bit tricky if you're gonna cut a hole like this. As you can imagine, it's not gonna fit. Okay, right, so therefore, we're gonna find a different way of how we can actually make this hole larger. So, and we're going to climb through an A4 sheet of paper. All right. So I'm going to switch my camera. I hope that I can switch my camera. Okay, and I'll just unswitch it. Ooh, here we go. Right. Okay, let me just try something because I can see that there is a problem with my background. Give me a second, please. I'll just need to make sure that I don't have a virtual background. Okay. I think that's better. Here we go. All right. Okay, so what I was just saying, we've taken our A4 sheet of paper and we're going to fold it in half. We don't fold it this way. You can also fold it this way, but this is where we're going to fold it. So this is how we're going to fold it. We're going to fold it lengthwise in the middle. Okay. So now this is our open end. This is our closed end. So now we're going to take a ruler and we measure approximately 1 centimeter. So it can be, if it's not a 1 centimeter, it can be a little bit more. So I'm going to make a mark here. So we're going to take 1 centimeter. So there's my mark. Okay. And now we're going to start cutting. Okay. So I'm going to start cutting from this side here. And as you can see, I'm not cutting all the way through. Okay. Then I'm going to take it, turn it over like this. And again, I'm going to make a cut about 1 centimeter away. Okay, so now it looks like this. I'm going to turn it over again. I'm going to cut. Turn it over again. And I'm going to make my cuts a little bit wider because we don't have all day. We're going to cut. We're going to turn it over. We're going to cut again. We're going to turn it over. As you can see, it's quite elaborate here. We're going to cut it again. We're going to turn over. And we cut. We turn over. We're going to cut again. Turn over. Cut. Turn over. Cut, turn over, and we cut again, and we're going to turn over again, and cut, turn over, cut, turn over, and you can see, ooh, it's a long way, huh? It's a long way. So if you make your space a little bit bigger, which you can of course do, then it's not so much cutting. But I'm a big person, so I need lots of cuts. Turn over. Turn over. And remember what I said. The last cut needs to be from the closed end side. So this is my closed end side. The last cut needs to be from the closed end side. Okay. Now, so what we've got now is basically a string. So we do not cut this part here. So this is the one of the end part, but we're gonna cut through this end here. So you see where it's the closed end. We're gonna snip it open. We're gonna move to the next one. This one is already open, so we're gonna move to the next one. We snip it open. This one is still open. This one is closed, so we're going to move to the next one, cut it open, move to the next one, again, cut it open. This is open, this is closed, so this one we're going to cut open again. This is closed, this is open, so we're going to cut it open again. Oh, you're probably faster than I am. Okay. Open. So this one is closed. Cut it open. all the closed ones except for the ones at the end. So this is my last one that I'm going to close, that I'm going to cut. Okay. Now, remember this one here, this one needs to be closed. And the one at the other end needs to be closed. And now I'm going to switch over my camera again. Here we go. All right. So now you can see me. And now what we're going to have now is this. So I can open up very, very carefully. I can open it up now. Very carefully. Don't tear it apart. Here we go. Right. And it's getting a bigger and bigger. And bigger. And bigger and bigger and bigger. And here we go. So there is your hole now in an A4 sheet of paper. Can you see? And now I can easily fit through. So I can climb now through this hole in an A4 sheet of paper. Okay, and I can even take somebody else with me, you know, to climb through this hole. Okay, so I hope it worked out for you if you tried it out. Okay, and you can always bet that you are able to climb through a hole in an A4 sheet of paper. You can try, make it smaller, make it an A5 size, try a business card, or even smaller than a business card, and see if you can manage to climb through this hole. Okay, so this was part 1 of our paper magic, climbing through an A4 hole of paper. All right, in the next part, what we're going to do is something that I very much like. We're going to make some Christmas decoration. And I've already started making Christmas decoration. So what we're going to do is we are going to make something like this. So I've got one of these. You can go bigger or something like this. So we are going to make stars or snowflakes. Sorry, it's more like a snowflake. All right. So beautiful snowflakes. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can make these beautiful snowflakes here. Please, it is easier to start off with an A4 sheet. I'm going to show you my presentation again so that we can just go step by step through it. Right, I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so let's just continue. To the next one. All right, so what we need to do is we need to make a square or cut a square out of your A4 sheet of paper. So how can we do? How are we going to do this? You can either measure it and make a square, or what you can do is you can just fold one edge of your paper up and line it up with the bottom edge, okay? And you will actually then basically cut off the bit that is sticking out, all right? And when you unfold it, you are actually having a square. And we're going to take now this square that is again folded. So we have a triangle here. So now we're going to take this triangle and we're going to fold it again. Okay. And then we're going to take one edge of the triangle and fold it to the left-hand side. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. And then we're going to take the other triangle, the other side of the triangle, and we're going to fold it to the other side. You can either do this in front or behind the other triangle. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut off the top part, and you can now cut out specific designs, any designs that you want to do. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more just now about it. Okay, let me just stop sharing my camera. And I'm going to change over to the other camera. Right. So there's my A4 sheet of paper. So remember, in order to get a square, because this is what we need, you can either use a ruler and measure things, but you know, I'm a little bit lazy, I have to say. So what I usually do is I usually take the corner, and I hope that you can see this. I take the corner of one side, and I'm gonna fold it over, and I'm gonna align it with this edge here. So just gonna make sure that it's nice, that I've got a nice pointy corner here. Here we go. And this is the quickest and fastest way to make a square. Right. And then we are going to cut this part off here. All right. Okay. And when you unfold it, you actually have a nice square. And now I have to put on my glasses because otherwise I'm not going to see things. Right, so how did it work? So this is our first triangle. And now what we're going to do is we are going to fold this side over to the other side so that we're gonna, and we're gonna line it up. Here we go. All right. So what we now have is a smaller triangle. So remember, this is my big triangle. We're going to fold it over. Now we have a smaller triangle. Okay, so the pointy bit is facing down. And what we're going to do is I just need to find out usually where the middle is. So what I usually do is I fold it over and I just press it down just at the bottom. So I have get a little bit of a crease in here. So I hope that you can see this. So there's my crease. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this side over, and as you can see, it's not lining up, it's just like slightly off center. So just like this. Okay, there we go. And what you should also make sure is, and I usually put it to the other side, what you should also make sure is that your top side, so your front side and your back side are basically aligned. Otherwise, your snowflake might look a little bit funny, and then you're going to press it down. Okay. I'm going to make another one just now to show you again how to do this. Okay. All right. So now we have these two ears here, which we don't really need. So we can take a ruler and we can just kind of make a line. Okay. So here we have our line. And we can cut it off. So now we have the pointy bit and we have the other side. And now you can draw a pattern on it. Don't make it, for a start, please don't make it too complicated because you have to cut it out. So it might be a little bit, a bit tricky otherwise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from here. And I'm going to draw a line from there. Okay. And I'm going to have a triangle on this side here. And maybe a triangle on the other side. Please do not cut through. Otherwise, you're just getting a big hole. Okay. So if you want to cut through, so maybe you can do this at the very bottom. So this is how my pattern is going to look like. So I'm going to cut now along these lines here. Okay. And I'm just making sure that I'm not cutting through. If you don't get it right the first time, don't worry. If you have plenty of scrap paper, you can always try this out again and again. So now I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I snip off the bottom part. And I'm going to cut along the lines here. Also, if you are very good in cutting, you can also make the lines a little bit thinner and you can add more patterns to it. I'm just going to make it very simple here. Like this. And like this. Here we go. So here you can see there is your cutout pattern. And now what we're going to do is now we are going carefully going to start peeling layers by layers back. And you just have to be careful not to rip it apart. So just carefully kind of rip it apart. And voila, here you go. There is your nice little snowflake or star or however you want to call this. And what you notice maybe also is that we only cut once but we got 6 identical shapes in every direction. Let me just do another one so that you can just have a look. And again, if you use a larger sheet of paper, it is easier with the cutting than if you're going to do a small sheet of paper. You could, for example, try to make a smaller star, but there you have to watch out with the cutting. Okay, so again, so we're going to take a sheet of paper. We're going to fold the edge over and align it all the way. So make sure that this line here lines up with the bottom edge of your paper, or sorry, in this case, the top edge of the paper. You're going to make a crease, nice and sharp crease. Okay. Right. And now we're going to start cutting again. Okay, so we start cutting again. Right. So remember what we did. We take one side of our triangle. So this is our triangle. This is the long side. These ones are the shorter side. So we're going to take it and fold it in half again. Okay, just make sure that that aligns nice and sharp. Here we go. All right. Again, I usually like to make it a little bit of a crease in the middle so that I know where to put it. You can also, so remember, so in the first one, I'll just put this one here behind. So what you can also do is you can also fold it up like this so that this line here is in the front. And we're going to fold it over. And what I usually try to make sure is that this one here is exactly the same size as the inside one. Okay. So we're going to just align this. There we go. So you can see, so they're now the same. This size is exactly the same as the inner one. And now we're going to put a nice crease in it. All right. And again, I'm going to take a ruler and we're going to cut off the top part. There we go. Maybe this time I'm not really, I don't really want like a nice snowflake. Maybe I want not straight edges, but maybe I'm going to use some round edges. So I'm going to try out and see what is going to happen if I'm going to make it like this. So I hope you can see my pattern. Whoopsie. Here we go. All right. So round, round, more, a little bit more roundish, and here. Okay. So let's see what we get out of this, how it's going to look like if we're going to cut it like this. There we go. Let's see what we get out of this. Okay. Right. This part here. So this logo looks completely different to the one that we were cutting earlier on. And it's always a surprise, whatever you cut into it, it's always a surprise how it comes out. So here now, okay, I just need to clean this off my table so that's not too messy. And this is the most exciting part, is of course when you carefully start unfolding your pattern. And now instead of a snowflake, you have more something like that looks like a flower. Okay, so if you use round shapes. Okay, so I hope that you're going to have fun with those ones. I most certainly have. All right, so let's get going and have a look at the next idea or next paper magic. Okay, so I'm just gonna share my screen again. Right. Here we go. So this one is called Cut 1, Get 3. And I'm going to show you just now why it's going to be called Cut 1, Get 3. All right, so we're going to start off again with where we're going to cut a square. So again, we're going to fold over. We cut the side off so that we get a square. There we go. And what we're going to do with the square is we are going to fold the square in half. And then we're going to take the half square and we're going to fold it again so that we get a small, sorry, now we have a rectangle and now we're going to fold it again and now we have a square again. We're going to fold it into a triangle. So we went from a rectangle to a square to a triangle. And now we're going to take one edge of the triangle and we're going to fold it over and we get a crease there. And with this, in this crease, we're going to draw a line and we're going to cut off the edge. I hope that's everybody understood what we're going to do. I'm going to show you just now how we're going to do this. All right. Okay, so, and I'm going to take, this time I'm going to take a nice orange sheet of paper. Right, so again, we're going to take one corner, we're going to fold it over, we align our side with the bottom side. Here we go. All right. There we go. And we're going to cut it off. Okay, so we're going to open it up. Okay, and we're going to fold our square in half. And nice line. Okay, so now we're going to take our side here and we're going to fold our rectangle into a square. We're going to take one side of our square and we're going to fold it up into a triangle. Oops, and this is not nicely done. Okay. And now we're going to take, I'm going to take the right side and I'm going to fold it up just like this. So you can see I'm going to fold it up to the point here. I squeeze it down a bit. So it gives me a crease and I'm just going to draw a line here to show you where the crease is. Okay, so there's the line. And what you're going to do now is in the next step, you're going to cut it off. And now you're going to unfold it like this. And what do you think? What shape do you get? I'm getting a shape that looks like an eye. Can I just ask you, who has done this with me just now? Did you get the same shape or did you get another shape? Did you get the same shape? Right? Because sometimes what happens if you cut it differently, and I'm going to show you another one, and I'm just going to make a small one here. So again, I'm going to make a little square. I'm going to make a little square. All right. I'm going to fold it in the middle. Okay, I'm going to fold it again. And this time I'm going to fold another triangle. And again, I'm taking my side here and I'm cutting it off. And what do you think? What shape do we get now? And I'm going to unfold it. And this time I'm getting actually, that looks like a picture frame. Okay, all right. So now first I have the eye and now I have the picture frame. So let's see what's going to happen if I'm going to do it the third time. So again, I'll do the same. I'm going to fold it over. Cut it alongside here to get a square. I'm going to fold it over again. Oh, sorry, open it up. Form my square into a rectangle. Okay. Fold it and fold it into a square. Right. I'm going to fold it up like this. And now I'm going to take the edge. I'm going to fold it over. And I'm going to cut this part open. And let's see what I'm getting now. And this time I'm getting a cross. So I folded it the same way and I'm getting 3 different shapes. So try this out at home and see if you can also get 3 shapes, different shapes out of it. Okay, so this is why it's called 3-in-1. Okay, last but not least, I want to introduce you to a very, very interesting miracle shape called a Mobius strip. But before we're going to do this, I just want you to just make a simple loop. So what I'm going to do, what you're going to do is, you're going to take a sheet of paper. You're going to measure 3 centimeters all the way down, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters. Now I'm going to take a long ruler. Okay, so we're going to have a rectangular that is 3 centimeters in width. Okay. Again, we're going to cut it. Right. And now what we're going to do is we are going to glue it together to make it into a loop. So I'll just apply some glue on the one side and stick it down. Right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to cut this loop lengthwise in half. And you can think about what you're actually going to get, guesstimate, make a hypothesis, take a guess on what shape you will get when we're going to cut our ring, our loop in the middle. Is it going to be a large, big loop? Is it going to be 2 single loops? So let's see and try out. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take my smaller pair of scissors, makes it a little bit easier. And here we go. I'm going to cut it in the middle. Here we go. I'll make a small incision. And now we're going to cut alongside in the middle. Cut, cut, cut. So again, what do you think what we're going to get? One large loop or two single loops? And if you made the prediction that it's going to be two single loops, you are absolutely right. So here we have two single loops. Okay, so now what we're going to do now is, let me just quickly share my screen again. We're going to do it a slightly different. We're going to make also a loop, but we're going to assemble it slightly different. Let me just go next. We're going to basically twist the one end around so that it's not a continuous loop, but it's a twisted loop. And this is called a Mobius strip. And it's a very, very interesting strip because if I'm going to draw a line on it, so if I go place a pen on the sheet of paper on the Mobius strip, and I'm just keep my pen there, and I just move the strip, it will actually draw a line on both sides without me lifting the pen. Okay, I'm pretty sure that you want proof, and we can do this. Whoops, sorry. I'm pretty sure we can do this just now. Okay, right, so how does it work? Again, and this time, what I just for you to better see this, I'm just gonna basically make some stripes along stripy pattern around here. Right, so 3 centimeters. Measure here. Again, 3 centimeters from the edge. 3 centimeters from the edge. And we're gonna cut and draw a line. Okay. Right, and we're going to cut a strip. Okay, and we're going to glue one end to it. Now, what we are now going to do is, we don't join them straight on. We're going to turn now this side here, and we're going to rotate it to the right. So the right means we're going to turn it this way. So we're going to take it and we're going to rotate it right. And we're going to glue it down. Okay, there we go. So now what we created is something that we call a Mobius strip. All right. So here's our Mobius strip. Okay, so, and what did I say? I told you that if I'm going to place the pen now on the Mobius strip, I can draw a line continuously without lifting it on both sides of my Mobius strip. So I'm going to place my pen here, and let me just move it slightly to the side. And now I start pulling. Okay, so I start pulling. And it's still on there, it's still on there. And I move along. And I hope that I can still move along. And gotta move along. And you can try this out as well. Whoops. Whoopsie. And this is when you use not this glue. Okay, let me just try this again. Sorry, guys. This is better when you then use a little bit stronger glue, or you can, or you're going to tape it. So let me just glue this again. Right. I just need to make sure that this one disappears. Right. Again, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this one to the right, and we're going to glue it down. And I hope this one is a little bit stronger, so you might have to wait for a little bit more. There we go. Right, so here we are. This is our end here. This is where we stop drawing. I hope you can see this. So I'm going to place my pen here and we just pretend that it didn't break apart. So we're going to move again and move and move and move and move. So we are now here. We're going to move further. We're going to move again. Right. And we're going to move and we're going to move again. And as you can see, I still haven't lifted my pen. I'm just moving the paper. And finally, I hope that you can see this. Finally, okay, finally, we are at the end. So there's my line. Okay, so there's my line. And I can continue with this line, can continue with this line. And now I'm going to the underside. The line is still there. Okay, so the line is still there. Continue on the other underside. Line is still there. Line is still there. Line is still there. Line is still there. And so on. And I can do this forever. And I have a line on the underside and a line on the top side. And I didn't need to basically lift my pen. Where is it used for? If you ever know and have seen the recycling sign, they use a Mobius strip as a symbol. And also conveyor belts use this loopy pattern. Why? Because it basically, because it runs around like this, it basically allows the wear and tear on both sides to be equal. Okay, so now we're going to do the same exercise as if we were doing it with our two loops here. Okay, so I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut in the middle. So in half the middle line. Okay, I'm going to start and I'm going to start cutting. So make a prediction. What do you think what's going to happen? How do we end up? Is it going to be one big loop? Is it going to be two loops? What do you think will you going to be end up with? So I'm just following the middle line here that I've been drawing and I'm already done here. So what do you think? What is going to happen? Is it going to be two loops, one big loop, two separate loops? And I'm pretty sure everybody made that prediction and I'm going to cut through. And if you guessed that it's just one big loop, and you can see we have actually a big loop with now 1, 2 twists in it. And you can try this out at home as well. All right, let's just do another one again with the Mobius band. Okay, so we're going to take our ruler again. We're going to make it 3 centimeters. Three centimeters. There we go. And we're going to cut across here. Make the line. Okay. Cutting it. Again, we're gonna, and I'm gonna use my other glue because that one is a little bit stronger. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue here. And again, we're turning one end over and we're gonna glue it together. This time I'm going to draw a line. And I'll start not in the middle, I start at 1/3 and I'll try to make the line 1/3 all the way around. So 1/3 is going to be probably about 1 centimeters. So if it's 3 centimeters, so I'm basically gonna start here, all right? So, and I'll try to keep Okay, maybe I should just start drawing it in the middle, at the bottom. So there's my 1 centimeter. Okay. And now I'm going to keep my distance from the edge. So I'm just aiming and I'm going to continue. And I'm going to around and around, and this will take a while. I'm going around and around. Okay. Around and around. So the question is, will the lines meet up again or not? Around and around. Okay, and around and around. Go. And I'm still around and around. Here we go. And around. And now I'm back to where I started. And you can see it's only one line that goes around. And again, we're doing the exercise. I'm going to cut into here, and I'm going to cut and follow the line here. All right. And you can start thinking, what is going to happen? Is it going to be one large loop? Is it going to be 2 separate loops? So what do you think? Are they going to be separate? Are they going to be together? And you can start thinking and start predicting. And here we go. Well, it looks like a large big loop. Okay. And we're going to continue. And continue. Ooh, that's a lot of cutting today. And we're still going to continue. We're almost there. So what do you think? What do we get? Is it going to be a large loop? Is it going to be 2 separate loops? What do you think? And I'm going to finish cutting. And what we are actually getting is a small loop intertwined with a large loop. So here, just by changing the way of how we cut it, I'm getting actually a small loop and a big loop. So remember, if we cut it in the middle, we are getting a long loop. If we're cutting it 1/3, we're getting a small loop and a large loop. Right. Okay, last one for today. This time we're going to have to cut 2 strips here. So here we go. So that's 3, that's 6. Again, 3 and 6. 3 and 6. Right. Draw a line, and we're going to do another line here. There we go. Right. And again, something that you can try and modify and change around. I'm just going to show you one version of it. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to now attach these ones that they form a cross. And again, I'm using my gluey glue. You can also try and just cut a cross out of the paper, but I think that's which is more stable, but this one should hopefully work as well. Let me just squeeze it down. Maybe I just need to put in a little bit of tape here, if I can find the beginning. Ooh, no beginning here. Let me just see. Oh, it seems that it's fine. Okay, now again, we are gluing it together, but now we have to pay attention the way we're going to glue it. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue on this side here. So now I'm taking this edge here and I turn it to the right and I'm going to attach it. So I'm going to make a Mobius strip that turns to the right. Okay. So you saw I twisted it to the right. Okay. Now, with this one here, okay, we're also going to make a Mobius strip, but now we're going to turn it to the other side. So remember, the first one was to this side here. Now we're turning it to the other side. And we're going to glue it together. Okay. So this is now how it looks like. Woo, highly complicated. And again, we're going to start cutting it in half. Okay. So we're going to start cutting our Mobius strip in half. And you can think about what you will get. What shapes do you get? Again, a large loop and a small loop. You get a large loop. Do you get two separate loops? So let's see what we are going to get. Again, we're going to cut it this time in the middle. All right. Oopsie. Just need to make it slightly bigger so that my scissors fit in. Right, so we're going to start cutting it in the middle all the way. You just follow the middle, just follow the middle. And I know it's a bit tricky. Again, we just follow cutting it in the middle. Just following cutting it in the middle. So this is our first one. Okay. And now we're going to take the other one. So again, we're going to fold it a bit. We're going to make an incision and we're going to cut it in the middle. Cut it in the middle. Cut it in the middle. We're still cutting it in the middle. Okay, and now I have to turn it over because now I still have to cut the other side. And now what do we get? So we actually get two intertwined, and I have to lay it out. Hopefully it's going to work out. Right, let's just see if we can get it to sort out. This is one. And hopefully this is the other one. So we already got one. And if we're going to fold it right, we actually get, oopsie. Now we go. So what you should actually get are two intertwined hearts. Okay, so you can try this out. This one here doesn't really play nicely along. I don't know why. But at least you can see here we've got our heart, and this one here, I hope that we can get a heart out of it as well. Right, so this was it for today, just for tomorrow. Continue. So if you want to join us tomorrow, we're going to do another CSI seconds, and it's Dr. T and the candy case. And what you would need for that one tomorrow is you need paper to write on and a pencil, a clean piece of styrofoam, so for example from a cup, or a slab of chocolate, or you can use some bread or an apple, some iodine, and here you might want some adult supervision. If you are small, then you rather have an adult helping you. We need vinegar, water. You can either use a pipette, a syringe, or a straw. Small glass or small glasses. Plastic gloves, because your iodine stains quite a bit. Spoon, cornstarch or custard powder, bicarbonate, sugar, cream of tartar, salt, a plate or a saucer, paper and or kitchen paper towels, just to protect your surface. All right. Are there any questions for today? Are there any questions? If not, I would say I hope to see you tomorrow. And let me just change off my camera. I'm going to see you hopefully tomorrow when we try to solve the case of the missing candy. All right, bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, cheers. Bye. Bye. Thanks, Ntokozo. Bye-bye.